If you were watching that day, you'll probably never forget the thumbs up Mike gave as he was carted off the field in November of 1991.
But it's what happened in the years since that horrible injury that should inspire us all. Bernie traveled to talk to Mike, and Bernie had some interesting things to say.
Yeah, well, a very positive human being. It's unbelievable. His story is one that longtime Lions fans will never forget. Mike Utley was in the midst of year 3 of his football career with much promise on the horizon. But on a November day in 1991, Utley's career came to an end. He immediately set out to live the best life he could under the circumstances.
Try to knock that pass down, and he comes down on the back of Utley's neck.
Do I relive November 17th, first play of the fourth quarter? No.
We can only hope that it's not as serious.
An athlete, a man walks on the field of battle, he walks off the field of battle. And this time, doggone it, I broke a promise to myself, and that was a big deal. I heard, from the fellas who say, hey, Mike, we're gonna get this one for you. Hang in there, and then I heard the folks in Detroit. And I wanted to let them know the best way, the only way I could, is to, be able to raise my hand up and give them a thumbs up that I will be back.
This week, November 17th, marks one of the darkest moments in the history of the Detroit Lions franchise. November 17th, 1991, the day Mike Utley lost the use of his legs.
This time, I lost strength. I have never lost strength before, and when I was able to get on my back, it was bad, and I knew it.
In the blink of an eye, a pro football player's life was changed forever. And now, 30 years later, Utley doesn't want your sympathy, and he doesn't want you to feel sorry for him.
Just suck it up, Buttercup, and do what you got to do. Man up, put the pants on, and attack the situation. But am I going to let emotions change the way I do things and keep me from doing something? Absolutely. And I never have, and I never will, my good man. Never.
If you're wondering about memories he may have from that time, he says Thanksgiving 1991 and Lomas Brown on national TV is a moment that is still ingrained in him.
You are as big a part of this team today as you have ever been. Thanks for your courage, your inspiration, and your strength. We're all praying for you. We love you. And thumbs up, Mike. We love you.
I've never forgotten that. I had an all-pro take the time and the team get together all right at that moment. I have never forgotten what they did for me at that time. And when people ask me, what do I do on days where I get down, I think of that moment when Lomas did what he did.
Man, I get kind of choked up about it because of the significance of it, what it meant to us and what Mike meant to us as a team, and how he propelled us the rest of that season.
It's just part of the thing called life you got to live with.
The more you spend time with Mike Utley, you come to realize he's one of a kind. Mike Utley isn't like most. He freely admits that. And with all the physical pain he's endured, you have to wonder, did he ever think of giving up? Did you ever go to a dark place?
You mean check out? Never once have I ever thought about checking out.
He spends his days in Hurricane, Utah with his wife, Danny. The past 30 years have not been easy. Blood clots in 1991 nearly ended his life. Twice in 2018, he contracted an infection in his vertebrae. Steel rods were inserted, and life went on. But Utley makes it clear there's only one way he can live.
The bottom line is I'm still here. I'm still able to function, be a productive part of society. Mike Utley will never be a burden on society. I gave my word on that.
You like the freedom?
I do. Yeah. It's an opportunity to live again.
Remember, Utley was robbed of his physical skills at the age of 25, so one might expect him to be bitter or angry at what happened to him. But there's not a hint of that or a hint of emotion at his misfortune. Did you cry when this happened?
Did I cry?
In November 91?
Nope.
Not once?
Not once. I have no regrets. I would do it all over again if I could.
Same way?
Same. I might have a little hamstring pull the play before, but no, I would do it all over again.
When's the last time you cried?
Since the last time my daddy gave me a tune-up and a spanking.
All the muscles are just flexing.
3 times a week for an hour each time, Utley stretches his body out and is standing up. It's the work he feels he has to put in for the moment when he can walk again.
A lot of people will wait for a cure, and they have passed. I will live for one. I had a goal, and I still do, is one day walking off Ford Field. It's just taking me a little longer than I expected.
How much have I learned from you in 2 days? Good God Almighty.
Yeah.
He has an attitude not seen in many, and his plan of walking again is very fresh in his mind, even after 30 years. And that feeling doesn't exist just when he's awake.
Are you asking, when I do dream, do I think about me being in a wheelchair? Never have. There's days that I forget that I'm even in a wheelchair. I'm the same guy I stepped on November 17th on the field, and by God, I'm the same guy that was wheeled off, just not the same athlete.
Wow. Pretty amazing. How about that? Never dreamt about while he was in a chair. Amazing stuff. Well, the Mike Utley Foundation is still going on. If you'd like to help, go to mikeutley.org. Tomorrow, it's a love story of his life. We speak with his wife, Danny. She's been with him 20 years, how they met and how they exist today. He also wanted me to mention that Lyons and the Ford family have taken care of him financially through the years, and he's very grateful for all of that.
What an inspiration. Great story.
It looked like it did you good out there to talk to him, too. You guys are really...
It was just a fascinating talk with someone who's been dealt this hand and who overcomes it every moment of every day.
Really good stuff.
Yeah.
By the way, there are other sports will be coming up with Bernie.
Yes, you're right.
At 6 o'clock.
The Tigers got a big free agent signing. I don't know if you heard the Lions tied yesterday.
Unfortunately, not only did I hear it, I subjected myself to it. That's coming up at 6 o'clock.
All right, Bernie. And there's a lot more to Bernie's interview with Mike Utley over on clickondetroit.com as well.
We posted an extended version where Mike shares stories about Barry Sanders, about his time with Chris Spielman. You can find that link right on the homepage. Great stuff. All right, let's get over to Paul.